Hey folks, it's comment answering time again. But before we dive in, I know a lot of you saw the post last night about the fair use rejection we got on 6 songs. It's really 6 clips from 6 different songs on a John Fogerty video that we were planning on releasing. And I went and responded to some of the community posts personally. I do try to monitor those myself. I don't know if I won't be able to continue to do that if we continue to grow like we're growing, but I do try to go look at those personally instead of having our comment monitor take a look at those and put on the comment section. But I just saw in our email that all of those claims are released, which is great. It means that the channel is not going to get deleted. We're not in danger of getting copyright strikes, so that's fantastic. I do wish, though, that I could see the YouTube side of this or the content manager side of this, because I only know what it's like from our end, from the creator end, the reactor end, and I've done a couple of different videos showing y'all what we have to go through in order to get these videos up and keep them up under fair use, U.S. copyright law, fair use. And I really just wish I could see some kind of transparency on the other end of this, because I don't understand why this particular video, it had been sitting on YouTube for 21 days, 3 weeks, waiting on a response. They don't respond for 3 weeks, and then after 3 weeks, boom, rejected. And then I submitted an appeal on all 6, and within 12 hours or less than 12 hours, I think the email actually came in earlier than when I had seen it, they released the claims, and the appeals don't really have that much different information from the original fair use dispute claim that we sent in originally. So I just wonder how much this is automated. Is any of it automated? Are there actual people looking at this at either point in the process? Just wish I had some more information. But regardless, the good news is we're not going to get banned, not going to get our channel deleted, not going to get any of our videos taken down so far. I hope that continues, and we're going to keep making content as long as YouTube and content managers, copyright holders will allow us to do it. So let's jump into these comments here. First up is our suggestions. Lori Toygo, I believe we had a comment from Lori Toygo last week, suggests Vincent or Story Night by Don McLean. Gotcha. I think we've already had some suggestions on that. And Vincent particularly, I think we've had a couple of suggestions on that. I will try. I've got so many songs that have been suggested multiple times, but I may put that one on our next random songs poll on Patreon. Karina Rodebach, Karina, one of our regular viewers, says, strongly concur to any suggestions to dive into Ren alone or with his band Big Push, and also his collaborator Chinchilla. Okay, gotcha. I've had a lot of people with that one. Kath suggests checking out Finally Free. I guess this is from Home Free. This is How We Roll and Moonshine. Okay. AA on the Gordon Lightfoot video suggests Carefree Highway. Okay, yeah, and my wife actually knew Carefree Highway, and she never knew it was a Gordon Lightfoot song. I haven't listened to it, so I don't know whether I might know it. And I think a lot of people got confused. I said I didn't know any Gordon Lightfoot songs that I was aware of, not that I didn't know who Gordon Lightfoot was. And there's a possibility that I've heard some of his songs. I just didn't know that that was Gordon Lightfoot. Gareth Jones suggests Northwest Passage by the folk singer Stan Rogers. Okay, I'll put that on the list. Vicky Roman says, check out Home Free, Can't Outrun You, or Some Girls Do. Gotcha. Came for Home Free and sub. Appreciate that, Vicky. Thank you so much. Robin Matheson suggests Home Free, I Can't Outrun You. Cover Me Up. Some Girls Do. Yours, Born in the USA. And I really want to get to that one. And I think, is that just... is Born in the USA a Chance solo? I was thinking that was the case, but maybe I'm wrong. And Blue Ain't Your Color. And also, she mentions that Chance directed the I Can't Outrun You video. Nice. Par 500 Dragon, another regular viewer of the channel on Home Free, said that Austin studied musical theater in college, and that's what I thought, and has an incredible version of Bring Him Home. Okay, gotcha. Malika 808 suggests Some Girls Do. Okay, I have a lot of suggestions for Some Girls Do. That might be the next one to put on the Home Free Patreon poll, because that's where our patrons are choosing which Home Free songs we react to next, and most of the songs we react to on the channel. Christina says, please listen to Live at the Bing Lounge. Oh, this is for, okay, Christina on the Chris Stapleton video. Sorry, I misread that there. It says, please listen to Live at the Bing Lounge, Barely Alive, from his days with the Johnson brothers. I'm not sure if that's a typo of that, or if that was the name. Used it as preparation for Sometimes I Cry, which is the most painful howl I've ever heard a singer make. I'm thinking I've heard Sometimes I Cry, but I can't quite remember. But I'll definitely put that one on the list, Christina. Appreciate that. Becky Ramsey on the Tim Hollins Peter Faust video says, another collaboration Tim does is with Chris Rupp after he left Home Free. Angels Among Us, an Alabama song. Okay, the arrangement, which I believe Chris did, is beautiful. It's on Chris' YouTube channel. Okay, Chris's YouTube channel. Okay, I will put that on the list. Joan N. said, have you listened to Chris Rupp and Tim Faust, Long Black Train? I have not. I'll also put that one on the list. Dagmar S., another great viewer of the channel, says, check out Bridge Over Troubled Water. This is Tim and Peter. Fire and Rain, Teach Your Children, Sunshine on My Shoulders, You Can Close Your Eyes, and So It Goes, Blackbird, You've Got a Friend, etc. All are excellent. I did not realize that they did so many collaborations together, and I've just loved, I've done 3, and then I just got through filmed yesterday, Peter and Home Free doing U2s. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Spoiler alert, one of the best acapella performances I've ever heard, in my opinion. It was fantastic. I also have a note here that multiple other commenters mentioned Bridge Over Troubled Water, Blackbird, and Misty Mountains. Yeah, our comment monitor actually called me on this one and said, hey, didn't you already do Tim and Peter, Misty Mountains? I said, yeah. They said, well, there's a lot of people mentioned it. So that one is already up, and I went and double-checked to make sure I hadn't made that private, because we've gotten a lot of people trying to claim not Peter, but a lot of third parties trying to claim the composition of Misty Mountains, which is, it's kind of funny. So I've had to set to private a couple of times, go through the appeal process, and make it public again, republish it. But it's up now, so if you want to go check that out and haven't, it is there. Jill says, Peter, another great collab Peter did is with Avi Kaplan. Black is the color of my true love's hair. Okay, I'll definitely have to put that one on the list. Avi's another one I absolutely love listening to. I hope to have a full Avi album reaction up on Patreon by the end of next week, and then I'll have a couple of songs off of that, at least 1, maybe 2 off of that for YouTube once it clears. Elizabeth Ross, another regular viewer of the channel, says Misty Mountain. Okay, there's Misty Mountains, Fire and Rain, Blackbird, Sound of Silence, and So It Goes. They even did a foursome, including their wives. Nice. Evan, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. Hollins, if not, I apologize. And Jenica or Janika, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Marion, pick any one, and I'll be here to listen. All right, they'll definitely go on the list. On the Rick Beato video for a couple of weeks ago, Don R. says, I'm so glad you broke this down like you did. Now I'm not clear on which side of the fence Home Free is on this, but they did a mashup of both these songs, and it is fabulous. The video is so cute with the hound and the fox. Hint, hint for reaction to it. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. When I saw that one, it actually came up on as a suggestion on my feed, and we've had a couple of different commenters suggest doing that, so I'll definitely put that one on the list. Carol Burnett, great viewer of the channel. I'm not sure if we've already had a comment from Carol or not. Said, just saw, this is on the Rick Beato, Ed Sheeran, Marvin Gaye lawsuit video. Just saw that it was settled in the right direction. Yes, Carol, isn't that great? I'm so glad. You know, Rick was thinking that they were going to lose the case, and I hated to hear that. And they didn't lose. Ed won, which I think is just the best thing that happened. I think the jury made the right decision on this. Unlike the other Marvin Gaye lawsuit with Robin Thicke a few years ago, I think that was just not the right call on that. On Home Free, Don McLean, American Pie. Amber Burris says, love the song. The jacket you got on, especially love the accent. Thank you, Amber. I appreciate that. I'm a home fry, but your voice is making me cheese. And I'm from Indiana, so it shouldn't sound so country, but it does. Ha. Great reaction. Thanks for making me smile and chuckle to myself. Thank you, Amber. I appreciate that. C. Shanty, this is from Kerponen. And Kerponen, if I mispronounced your name, I apologize for that. Kerponen is a regular viewer of the channel. Been with us for pretty much since the early days, since we started last year. And Kerponen says, during the pandemic, one of the better things was finding Home Free. Good videos of many songs worth listening to, incredible voices, and on top of all that, interesting arrangements. One of my favorites is Flowers on the Wall. Their Sea Shanty medley is a good example of the principle, and he's got a phrase here in a language that I don't speak. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the original because I'm sure I will murder it, just completely bungle it. But it translates into anything simple is beautiful, but that doesn't quite reach the full meaning of the original. It has been my main principle as a designer for decades. Never has it been proved wrong. One of the things I find very appealing about this performance is how they increase the tempo with such control throughout the medley. To achieve that is hard enough when the group of singers are all together in one place, but in this case, they weren't. How did they manage that? While I like the medley, I still am a bit disappointed with it. The arrangement has moments for Chance, Rob, and Austin to shine, but not for the other two. As an alt-1 singer inquires, I have always felt that the anonymity of a mere percussionist is quite undeserved. It's great comment. Some really insightful stuff there about art in general. And as far as how they coordinated that, I actually just got through, I mentioned this earlier, I got through listening to the Peter Hollins Home Free collaboration. I still haven't found what I'm looking for, and it was done with, they recorded themselves on the camera, and of course I had to record their parts each individually and make the master mix and then sing to it. And I mentioned on that video how hard it is to logistically do that. They just nail it and put together a great video. Racing 2 Cat, one of our favorites on the channel, says, great to see you laughing during this one because it is so enjoyable. Always find myself bopping along my whole body by the time the last shanty's in full swing. Adams, castanets just slay me. Really enjoyed your reaction, Cole. Cat. Thank you, Cat. I appreciate it. Karina Rodabach, Karina, regular viewer of the channel, great viewer, says, if I understand right, this song almost didn't get done, but for Chance insisting on it, the others were a bit skeptical to the project, and now it's one of their biggest hits. Yeah, I'm glad they listened to Chance. Wireless Mike DJ says, this was a throwback to the TikTok viral Wellerman trend. They did it to the T with the portrait screen, black and white, pounding of the guitar back, and floating Home Free logo. They upload a segment of this to TikTok for people to duet it. Nice. Elizabeth Ross says it was just this kind of wonderful stuff that helped a lot of us get through staying home alone for well over a year. Home Free never stopped finding ways to get their talents out of their quarantines. Isn't this one fun? Your reaction is perfect. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. And yes, it was great. It was great. Debbie Hall says, another killer video. Even in the pandemic, they were so creative to keep producing beautiful and fun songs. Absolutely. And I've got a note here from our comment monitor. It says multiple other commenters also mentioned their enjoyment of the quarantine, of the VoicePlay quarantine videos. Linda, great viewer of the channel, says there's something about Home Free that is just like a magnet. They draw you into their music and videos, and every time I rewatch or re-listen to their songs, I discover new elements that I missed previously. I love how Adam upped the tempo with each song and his ocean wave and castanet sounds. This always makes me smile. Great reaction as usual. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. And yeah, they're phenomenal. Capri Omni says, Austin has a degree in musical theater, and Rob, as I understand it, has operatic training. Others have suggested Chance-led songs. One that I really like where Chance sings the opening verse is One Man Band, a cover from Old Dominion. Gotcha. Carolyn Schmidt says, knowledgeable reaction. Thank you for watching, Carolyn. I appreciate that. Kevin Clements, another great viewer of the channel, says, Cole, this one has around 40 million views, and it was all because our boy Chance insisted on them doing this. They all made a pile of dollars from YouTube ad revenue, all because of Chance. I'll request again their cover of Trace Atkins' song, I Can't Outrun You. Chance not only leads, but he also directed the video. Home Free did it masterfully. And that's on the list, Kevin, and I will definitely add it to the Patreon poll at some point. Badger 77722 says, I always get a kick out of Austin waving his sword around like he thinks it's a baseball bat. I sincerely hope that that thing isn't at all sharp. That first song made the rounds of TikTok several months ago with people trying to perform a complicated dance routine to it. I'm guessing that almost none of them had any idea where the music came from. Nice. Nighthorn Kavala says Austin was one of the cruise ship's performers out of Florida, maybe, I don't remember. When Home Free came aboard as guest performers, they all got along really well, and Austin wanted to sing with them someday. Several months later, one of the group decided to leave to raise a family and not be on the road all the time. They approached Austin with an invite to join Home Free with the stipulation that he get his Georgia accent back. The rest is history. This was late 2022, early 2013. Late 2012, early 2013, and they did the sing-off in late 2013. Great history. Didn't know that. Don't even think I knew that there was an iteration of the group without Austin. So that's some great information there. From last week's comments video, Don R's says, new Home Free sub. Thank you, Don. I appreciate that. This is a really good idea. People will feel seen and heard. It's a good way for us to check and see what's been suggested so we can choose something else or know that it will be coming up. I appreciate that, Don. Not many reactors have done Chris Rupp. Former Home Free founder retired and has solo work as well as new group. Give his song Shine a listen. It's a good message and fun as well as bounce. I think you'll like it. Thank you, Don. And I've had a lot of suggestions for Chris this past week, so I'll definitely make that a priority to get that on our Patreon poll to let our patrons vote on that. Elizabeth Ross says, thanks for mentioning my comments. Absolutely, Elizabeth. Thank you for commenting on the channel. I'm amazed. Rachmaninoff lived well into the 20th century, and apparently his copyrights were still being held by either heirs or an estate in the 1970s. Wow, that is incredible. I grew up with a 78 RPM album of his variations on a theme by Paganini, played on piano by Rachmaninoff himself. Wow, at any rate, the claim was deemed valid. Eric was not allowed to claim authorship of All By Myself. Incredible. This is a follow-up from last week. I don't know more about the case, but go listen to Eric performing his wonderful song. It's on YouTube. P.S. Yes, I'm that old. Yeah, that's some great information, Elizabeth. And I didn't realize that Rachmaninoff, and yeah, I guess he would have. I think he died like in the 40s, so yeah, I guess he would have had some material that were under the modern 20th century copyright laws. Wow, incredible. Kevin Clement says, Cole, I was privileged to see Gordon live back in 1978 and get paid for it. Nice. I used to usher at the Jackie Gleason Theater on Miami Beach when I was a teen. Excellent stuff, Kevin. Hearing the man himself sing If You Could Read My Mind, Sundown, Carefree Highway, Poor Little Allison, and Early Morning Rain live and in person was a dream come true. I set people in their seats, then sat down and watched the concert. That's an awesome story, Kevin. Thank you for sharing that. That's just great. Wish I had a story like that with a big act. Carol Burnett says, after I had commented that I didn't know any other Gordon Lightfoot music unless I had heard songs and didn't know the artist, I saw several other songs by reactors and immediately knew the music. I'm not great at keeping songs and artists in my head. I do really enjoy these. Thanks, Cole. Thanks, Carol. And yeah, I might know some of these, and I know some of our regular viewers are saying, no, you've got to know some Gordon Lightfoot. You just don't realize it, and it's probably the case. B-Dubs, one of our favorites here, says, the way I understood it, Holly already had a seat on the plane. He chartered it. Waylon gave up his seat to the Big Bopper, who had the flu and didn't want to ride on the unheated bus. Guitarist Tommy Allsup lost his seat to Richie Valens via a coin toss. Holly and Waylon were the ones that had the joking exchange. I hope your bus freezing / plane crash. Waylon carried the feeling of guilt for a long time. That is correct. That's the way I understand it too, B-Dubs. But I think this is in response to, I was talking about, somebody had said something about Dion in that story. This is about the day the music died with Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, Big Bopper. Waylon's story and the other guy that was in the band. Yeah, Tommy Allsup. B-Dubs has got the name right there. Couldn't think of it last week. He's got it right there for me. So Waylon and Tommy Allsup, their story is Buddy booked the plane for him and his two bandmates, okay, and the drummer was in the hospital. Waylon did give up his seat to the Big Bopper. Allsup lost the coin toss to Richie Valens. That's the way the story goes. But then you've got Dion. Dion, and that also is the story that makes the most sense to me. Dion says that Buddy booked the plane for himself and the headliners and supposedly said, we shouldn't have to be riding the bus because we're the headliners. The band can ride in the bus. And Dion said, no, I'm not going to do it because that's the amount of money I'll be paying for this ticket is what my parents, I don't know if he actually said he articulated that out loud, but that was what it was in his head. This is the same amount my parents' monthly rent is, and I just couldn't in good conscience do this. That story to me, Dion's version story to me, doesn't make any sense because the Bopper and Richie weren't offered the tickets. Like, that's not disputed. So why would Buddy offer it to Dion, have three spots, only offer one to Dion, and then when Dion turns it down, turn around and offer it to his bandmates, but not Richie or the Big Bopper? It just doesn't make any sense. But Dion's story is a little bit different than what Waylon and Tommy Allsup's was. Pam Forrester, Pam, another great viewer of the channel, says, I appreciate you doing these videos. The critics are never going to be happy. Hoping you do a cold version of celebrities reading mean tweets. That would be awesome. I thought about doing that. The internet can be toxic. I have personally called the herd, and this channel is the #1 keeper a good, smart community. Thank you, Pam. I appreciate that. Yeah, you guys are great in the comment section. Can't get over the irony of Gordon Lightfoot. Things happen the way they're supposed to. I know, it was crazy. Last, then I'll shut up. Let's all cheer on Pentatonics. California rolls into the finals. They killed and buried Creep. I think Radiohead may rethink their life now. Haha, love to hear what you and others think, as always. Thank you. And this is on The Masked Singer. Yeah, I asked, I kind of did a little informal poll on one of these videos, should I react to The Masked Singer? And I did. Most people weren't really interested in it, but I may revisit that, put it on Patreon poll or something. On the VoicePlay Valhalla video, Ferret Mom says, Jeff just keeps getting lower and lower. It's insane. Every single one of them did fantastic work with this song. Definitely one of their masterpieces, in my opinion. And under that, John Deere Green replied, he is getting a stronger resonance with age, which seems to be allowing him to access those lower notes with more power over the past few years. I have been a low bass since my teens. Then my voice did a second change around 40 and got more rounded. I believe that's what we've been witnessing from Jeff. Nice. Well, hey, maybe the same thing will happen to me. I don't know. I have definitely gotten, whenever I was a teenager, like my range has probably dropped consistently about a note and a half as I've gotten older into my 30s, and I don't have that much longer till I hit 40. Maybe I can get to Jeff range one day. We'll see. Alone Endeavor, another great viewer of the channel, says their talent in all aspects keeps getting better. I have to remind myself that Jay did not break through an old, heavy, creaky wooden door that was all Lane. The original artist, Miracle of Sound, watched, listened to this cover, and gave them 10 raised L horns out of 10. Yeah, I saw somebody that said that, but I didn't know who the original artist's name was. That's great information to have. Jillian Drysdale, another great viewer of the channel, says, almost rendered you speechless. Yeah, not surprising. A lot of reactors felt the same. Yeah, it was just, the Valhalla video was just insane. Reflections says, beautiful reaction. Thank you so much. I know how much you appreciate VoicePlay. Thank you, Reflections. And yeah, they are just incredible. Their talent off the charts. Miles Yeager says, it amazes me how they can take a song I would never listen to and make it one of my favorites. Yeah, there's some material that they've done that I either didn't know because it's not something I would ever listen to, or I did know and didn't really care for it, but VoicePlay doing it was like, oh man, this is incredible. L. Jill Conninger, and if I murder some of these names, my apologies. This is the sequel to my Mother Told Me cover, right? Same face makeup, and Caesar is wearing the same cloak as Jose Rosario Jr. wore in My Mother Told Me. Yeah, that's I didn't mention that. People in the comments had already let me know that ahead of time, and I didn't mention it in the reaction video. On the Bruce Hungry Heart video, Valencia the Queen says, take it from an old Jersey girl. This song was produced for radio to give you a little of that Hall & Oates Philly sound. That's absolutely, I should have picked up on that it was very, very much in that Hall & Oates vein. Yeah, great comment, Valencia. Slice Let's Play says at timestamp 115, I'm not sure, I'd have to go back and watch the video. The reason it sounds like it's not Bruce might come from the fact that the album version was pitched up, sped up by one note. Yeah, somebody told me that on Patreon. Listen to the 1979 single LP version. It is in original pitch. I'll have to go do that. Yeah, somebody let me know that on Patreon. And I said, yeah, that explains why. Pam Forrester, Pam once again says, and this happens to be my favorite Springsteen song ever. It's definitely in my top 5. And sadly, again, I'm old enough to remember the original. The words and music are perfect together. I think he really showed us a true softer side. He's a true anti-hero with so many layers to explore, something for everyone. You're right on about being a sing-along song. Can't carry a tune in a bucket, but hey, if no one else is subjected to it, it's okay. Can't wait for the next Bruce reaction. And Cole, hoping you watch our Totally Not Pentatonics California Rolls in the finals tonight. As always, thank you for the video and commentary. Yeah, I don't even know who won, and maybe that's a good thing. Don't spoil it for me, because I may go back and watch these and put some stuff up on YouTube for it. Racing 2 Cat once again says, just a funny note, Cole, when the song started, you said it didn't even sound like Bruce. Followed by, this is one of your favorite Bruce songs. Enjoy the reaction, Cat. Yeah, I mean, I know that it kind of sounded bad. It's kind of sound like I was dissing on Bruce. That it doesn't even sound like Bruce. Therefore, it's my favorite Bruce song. But it wasn't how I meant it. But yeah, it didn't sound like Bruce, and it was one of my favorite Bruce songs, but not because it didn't sound like Bruce. So let me clarify. Steve Allen says, so many good songs on the River album, possibly my favorite record. This song vocal was sped up 4% for the radio right. I think I need to Patreon. Hey, well, come on board, sir. We'll be glad to have you. All right, on the Peter Hollins, Tim Faust video, I almost said Tim Hollins, Peter Faust. Shirley Carr, one of our regular viewers, said, filmed on the Oregon coast, probably around Florence, in one long take in order to capture the sunset. I think Peter lives in the Eugene area, close enough that he appeared as one of the friends in Tim Faust and Friends Bash up the road in Brownsville, August 2022. Gotcha. They filmed several videos that weekend. Tim had to borrow clothes because his luggage got lost. He ripped his jeans, climbed over a fence, but filmed anyway. The tear is visible when he's standing under a tree singing Show Must Go On, all that. Yeah, I think somebody told me this story and I had forgotten, and I may have not have known this connection here with Peter. Vicky Atkins says, this one was done in one take. That is impressive. Wow. Brenda Sorensen, another one of our regular viewers, says, yes, hauntingly beautiful. I think the haunting part goes well with the lyrics. Scarborough Fair, famously covered by Simon & Garfunkel, has a similar haunting sound. Does 6-time naturally lend itself to be used for haunting sounds or melancholy? You know, that's a good point. I don't know if I've ever thought about it. But, yeah, at least a lot of the 6/8 songs I know do have this melancholy, at least pensive sounds. Yeah, it's a great observation there, Brenda. Patricia Vernon says, this was so beautiful. Every high school chorus teacher should show this video to the tenor and bass sections. This was a masterclass in singing for those voice ranges. Absolutely. Thanks for another great reaction. Thank you, Patricia. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Ellen Reiser, another one of our great viewers and one of our patrons as well, says, it is a beautiful song, beautifully sung. I found it disconcerting. They were facing away from each other. Not sure why. Interesting. I like that. I like that about the video. I don't think I said that in commentary, but I liked that. I know there's a lot of debate of where this came from. Some believe it was written for or by Henry VIII for Anne Boleyn. I also know there's another faction that says this could not have been written until later and is from the Elizabethan period. Who knows? There are all that's true just about any historical event these days. Everybody says, "Oh, this was written here because of this." No, it could have been written here because of this. You know, I don't know. It's a beautiful song regardless. I would like to think that it was not written by Henry VIII because I like the song, but I don't like him. Yes, it's kind of hard to separate the art from the artist in times. Either way, it has stood the test of time. Yes, an incredible, beautiful song and rendered exceptional by these two a cappella singers. And that's going to do it, folks. Let's see the fairly short video. And also, I had a comment. I thought our comment monitor was going to put it on here. She told me about it. I thought it was going to put it on here. It was from one of our regular viewers. I think it was Grace. I think it was Grace Parker, about how that I had to slow down. I didn't have to talk so much because y'all were going to stick here with me, and I do appreciate that. And one of the reasons that I find myself talking so fast, I hope I was able to slow it down a little bit this week. But the reason I record these on Thursdays is I've got about a 2-hour window where I'm unencumbered with other obligations and other people in the house. that I can get some stuff done. And one of the things I do before I do this is ride 8.5 to 9 miles on an exercise bike, which is what I did this morning. I actually didn't do quite as much because I'm coming off of just having been sick and not quite back up to full speed yet. But so whenever I get out here to do this, I've got adrenaline going. I'm ready to go, and I'm also looking at all these comments like, yeah, all right, let's do this. Let's get this done before my time runs out, and I got other things to do. But I tried to slow it down a little bit today. And if you did stick all the way to the video, thank you so much. You are in an elite club, because looking at the stats from last week, it was a 34-minute video, and the average view duration was 4.5 minutes. So if you stuck through this whole thing, you are in the upper echelon, upper tier of supporters of this channel, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate it. I hope everybody's still enjoying the reactions. We got some great stuff coming up for you. We got another home free tomorrow on Friday. Next week we got VoicePlay. I hope the John Fogerty video will be up next week. We'll see. One that I thought was going to get us deleted. So stick around for that, and see you soon.